Is there 5 seconds? Okay. 5 seconds of welcome so that we know we're recording here at the lovely home studio with my orange lighting. The home studio. Wow, I am tired, fam. Uh, Yesterday was huge. I had a rough morning personally, a lot of stuff going on, and came in to the event, and I could like barely set up the event because people were just in the store from go. 12 o'clock, someone walked in, and then I think like literally I opened the door and someone was standing there. 11:50 something, 59, and really stopped till about 3 p.m. I will say this. I will say this. I with a little bit of pride. Multiple people offered to help. Regular customers, especially, said, "Oh, do you want me to help?" Even like I've got this kid. I think he's a high school senior. Who's been coming in for about a year, but he doesn't come into town often. He he's a teenager. I don't think he has his own car. He gets a ride in, and he picks up about 5 weeks of comics. And he was like, "Oh, could I help? Can I move something around for you?" Like, very happy to say these are my customers. But my answer to all of them was, I can't really have. I'm like, I've got to move this box and then figure out a space for that box and then open this table and figure out a space for that. All while customers are browsing. Like, thanks for the offer. Now, I could have said, excuse us, we have to do this. But I have so many things going on anyway. I always try to do FOC at the beginning of Sunday to make sure I have it done by today. And I had, as I talked about on Friday, did I do one on Friday? Yeah, I did it. My Shabbos Finery. I started about on Friday. I pretty much decided that we were not going to be going with this hold list system, and I was kind of looking through that system, checking what information I could pull out of it, all as we prepared for the big night and the people. And a few people came. A few people came in before 3 o'clock and said, "Oh, I know there's a signing later." I told a few people, "Yeah, no," and that's the point, Doc. I absolutely agree, Doc. I wish now I would have taken one or two of those people, like a 17-year-old kid. But like I don't know, I would have asked them to help at the moment. But I would say I should have cleared people out of the way a few times and actually moved stuff. But at the same time, I do ask for help when I know I need it in advance. That's basically what this event was. This event, I went to Brett, I went to Published and said, "Look, I can't run an event anymore. I can have these people sit and sign." And that was a debacle, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. It was not good how I set up for all those people. Okay, that horrible laugh scared a lot of people off, probably, but that did not go well. Okay, you have to understand, and this is the important part, I think, for the whole story that no one really gets except for my wife. And that, well, now unfortunately everybody gets. Everybody knows this now. Gabrielle Bell is one of my favorite cartoonists. I think Gabrielle Bell is a genius. And it's a person, super personal. Her mental problems are, at least in my mind, are similar to my mental problems. I adore her. And she was coming to the store. Okay, I don't want to end up in one of her comics in a negative way. Not because I hope people would see it. Gabrielle Bell has to like me. Gabrielle Bell has to have a good time. Gabrielle Bell has to not be stressed out. Gabrielle Bell has to be okay. That was a huge part of my planning. Similar for all the guests, but like Tom Daly, I've never had before, but I've seen him in other signings. He seemed very competent, put together. Bobby Gorda we've had before, and I know how easygoing and wonderful they are, and they were putting it together. I was willing to ask for them. Bob didn't just like, I think he drove everyone out in his car. Besides for that, or Kyoto drove him there, he put together the slides. Sophia, the 19-year-old who was in the show, sent his slide. He goes, "I hope you don't mind, but I did a few zoom ins and I did a few moments where like the click through on the display gives you more words because I think it hits the comedy beats better. And she was like, I saw them, they were amazing. And he was like, oh, just helping. Lots of people have never done this before. Bob was incredible. But Yuko also. I've been trying to have Yuko at the store for 10 years. I wanted Yuko to have a good time. So I will say it really filled me with joy when they all came early with Bob. Bob said, I'm going to come like an hour early to set things up at Published. They all came in. And they were looking at Gabrielle Bell's like, I just need a coffee. And I said, well, we've got a cat cafe down the block. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go to the cat cafe. And Yuko goes, cat cafe? I was like, yeah, it's down the block. So they went there. Bob said he was looking for good tea. So I sent him across the street to the game store, Main Street. I love Main Street Board Game Cafe, represent, but the reason I sent Bob there is because they have my girl, Melissa, Clipper Ship Tea. If you love good tea, and this is not sponsored by them, old heads remember that the episodes when Melissa still had her store across the street, I would be drinking her tea while I spoke and say, sponsored by Clipper Ship Tea. This episode is not sponsored by Clipper Ship Tea, but go to their website. Clipper Ship Tea is some of the greatest tea I've ever had in my life. I love them. They used to be right across the street from us, and Main Street Board Game Cafe stocks them. So I sent Bob there, and I was very proud of myself to see a few people had tea from there with the nice tea inside it. I hope they had fun at the cat cafe. But as soon as they at the cat cafe, also good friends of mine. But as soon as they came back, people were waiting for them. People were boom. It was. And we sold a bunch. I gave Gabrielle Bell her money from, she goes, I can afford drinks tonight at the carousel. And I gave, Bob was like, wow, this was the stuff I brought, not stuff that you already had. I said, no, I kept that separate. The thing that cleaned us out, though, we lost our money. We did not have a huge day because I bought so many zines beyond what they sold. So we have almost everything Bob has in print. Half of what Kyoto has in print because she was saying the few of the books she doesn't understand why Uncivilized didn't get sent, whatever. A bunch of Gabrielle Bell that we've sold out of. Again, except for Tom Daly, every single person there, I was like, you don't understand. I've had everything that you're offering me. I know how it sells. Give me 5 of that. Give me 3 of that. Tremendous stuff. Masterpiece Comics, we'll take them. Yuko signed every she signed every issue of The Unwritten on the cover, little sketch. She signed our rare first edition Beehive books, Oscar Wilde, that she illustrated. I believe the second print is now out of print. That signed is now in our rare books. She signed every last Yuko Shimizu tote bag. She went through the box. She goes, I can't reach the ones on the bottom. And someone was like, what's your, and I jumped down there and I'm like, oh, there they are. Every single one of them signed. Someone bought one while she was there. She wrote a whole note and drew a little kitty cat inside it for her. Yuko freaking Shimizu, people. And then they went up to Published. I went up 10 minutes later after closing the store, and everyone had a great time. The atmosphere of Published was incredible. I literally left there thinking, we should do a book club here. Like, it's terrific. I don't know what I would do for a book club. I just feel like I'd be overbearing and lecturing everybody. I don't think that would be fun for anyone. But Published, great place. Everyone killed it. Sophia, the 19-year-old, meanwhile, her sister was playing at the local amateur theater stage where you can get selected to play open mics, basically, but it's a little bit more selective. Her sister was playing up the road, so they're talented. She read her book fantastically. A lot of people came out. Her grandparents were there. It was a very special night. Like I said, the only reason we lost money is because I bought all these amazing mini comics off of all these people. I do think at the end of the event, I did overwhelm Gabrielle Bell a little bit, sort of telling her what a big fan I am, which happens. I am a little uncool when I really, really enjoy someone's comics. I remember Carla McNeil, when we had her, that was kind of she's got no filter. And so she just she just accepted it and moved on and started talking about line decker and seeing it in person and what the depth of field is on a line decker incline. um, but it was Gerhard. When we had Gerhard in, I couldn't stop talking about how great he was. Declan, people, I gush. It's what I do. And in that note, I have something else to gush about. If you're a regular, which I imagine if you're watching right now, you're only a regular because we've had up and down and up and down. The absolute hell I've been going through with the Polis systems. For a rehash for anyone who hasn't been listening, we'll do a really quick timeline. Okay, we've got the dissolution of Diamond imminent, and Pullbox stops being supported. As long as there are new books, they have them in there, but they're not like taking anything that Luna does. They're not taking anything that Penguin Random House does, unless they also carry it, and it's going downhill. And then abruptly, 2 weeks after the bankruptcy, it's just boom, it's gone. We're done. We're not doing anything with this. It works because it's pre-orders for stuff, but eventually, I was already off on something else, but eventually it disappeared. We looked at a few other systems. Most of them are much more expensive than we were comfortable with. The one that was cheaper was promised was a much bigger system, like all these systems. It was a whole POS, track your inventory, blah, blah, blah system. But they had split off just the hold list part. And it was going to have a web portal for people to use. We used it. We had it for trial for a few months while Diamond was falling apart. They gave it to everyone for free. And in January this year, we started paying for it. And I hobbled along on it, but I didn't feel comfortable setting up new people for it with it. And I feel like, after the experience I'm about to describe, I feel like had I really given it full effort at first, when we were trialing it, it would have worked fairly well for us. But, as I keep saying over and over and over, we were paying for 6 months. And I was told, right when we started paying, that we would have customer facing any day. I didn't even argue with them. After asking a few more times over the year, I had another option. This other system came up. We went. If you dig through my videos, I'm sure you could find the name of the other system. You don't have to. Here's the other thing. I don't think it's being used anywhere else. I think 1 or 2 shops are maybe using this system, and I was the third. And that was the biggest problem. Really, I had a lot of little issues with it, but it's not polished. It's not made for a pull list. It's like all the other systems. It's a giant hunking behemoth, full POS inventory pull list thing. Oh, you can just use it for this. Well, I kind of can, but all the functions are meant to feed all 3 beasts. So, as I've mentioned before, we have a independent one out of Jermaine's Acme Comics that he's going to lend us. But while I'm switching over to that, where I have to do all the inputting myself, I said, let's go back to League of Comic Geeks. We used it in 2018 before Diamond Pullbox opened. We used it for about 6 months. It was okay, but none of my manga customers could find their stuff. People didn't like the UI. They couldn't find what they were looking for. We were coming off of Comixology, which just still... Comixology died in 2017 and is still the best pull list system that I've ever seen. Just saying. Thank you, Amazon, for that. Yet another horrible thing Amazon did. They ruined the worst pull boss system. But anyway, so I went to my friend who uses League of Comic Geeks and the paid, and she goes, "Oh, I don't really use the paid." I'm like, we pay for it. But like, it does X, Y, and Z, and I barely use those things. But she goes, yeah, I guess you can use it for free though. And I went and set up to use it for free. Last time I tried to use it for free, you couldn't have more than 100 customers. A bunch of things, no problem. Sent it in, and you know what? If I have to pay, the fee is literally like less than 10% of what I was paying for Managed Comics. Which again, I think if I use Managed Comics, if I was coming off of a giant plugged-in inventory POS system and I wanted to just have the pull box, but not those, it's not terrible. It just was not for me, and I didn't have customer facing. League of Comic Geeks is customer facing. That's the whole point of it. They want you. Their website has advertising on it. They want you on their site looking through comics. They want you looking at variants. They want you reaching out to sellers who sell through their site. They want you there. I'm not a huge fan of the forward facing part, but because they've been doing this for 10 years, my side is wonderful. I literally sent out an email with the wrong link originally. I sent out an email to all the hold list people, even really defunct ones that I didn't set up in the latest one, and a whole bunch of people who I didn't even input into that new system. Because like I said, that new system that we stopped using wasn't ready. Like, the fact is, I had to individually email every customer name I had to generate for each. It's over 100 people. I didn't even get done. Again, that's not on them. I don't think it's such a terrible thing. It's not a deal breaker. I'm a one-man shop. I'm a one-man shop. I do everything myself. I don't have time to do that and all the other things I have to do. And the answer I got was, oh, well, that's how it works. It's like, I get that, but I don't have time to do that. So I'm not ready to try out and see how well populated this is or that is in the system. I haven't even had my customers log in here and check it out. Meanwhile, about 5 hours ago, I sent out League of Comic Geeks, whatever it's called. And again, you guys go on there to send out books with me, and you're going to see ads. I apologize. You're going to have little videos playing. That's how they make their money. But I already have 11 customers integrated themselves, who say their hold list should be up to date and ready. And I looked at the polls for tomorrow, and they're not anywhere near right. If you go and see the thumbnail for this episode I put up, and it has absolute Batman at 5 subscriptions. It's a lot more than that. But of 11 people signing up, it probably is 5. Like, it's already just showing, and it's just the idea that I can go with the others and see that. That's a screen I can see easily. Subscriptions, every single system, manage it. I can go there, subscriptions, here's all the things people are subscribed to. Some of them, I won't go into details, but some of them were better than others. Some of them, this part worked better or that part. But, I can go into a button called Pull List, and it will pull down the issues coming out this Wednesday. And I can click on that issue, and it will tell me the 2 people who are getting it, whether they subscribe to it or they pulled it separately. And that's all I need right now. It's literally all I have asked for and needed for a year. And I have mentioned it to people. And my friend Brandy, who's on League of Comic Geeks, I really got to get the name right, League of Comic Geeks, told me, well, that's what it does. The problem is that we have some people who get some manga from Yen and these and that, and it's not all on there. I will gladly trade after the year and a half that I've had. I will gladly trade a few books not on there, but a system that easily allows people to see what is coming out, create a hold list, and let me see what they ordered. I already got my first changelog, a print up of what people ordered within the system that day. Neither of the last 2 systems I had used it. Diamond and Comixology both had them. As does the really fancy ones that are more expensive. Every day you get an email telling you what people did. I already got one. So for now, we're on League of Comic Geeks. Please, if you have an account there, make an account there. If you haven't checked your email, you should have an email from me. If you don't have a hold with us, Doc, don't link us as your shop, because it will put all your comics that you're ordering down as something that I'm supposed to get you. So don't do that. One of my customers, I went in and she had removed 100 holds. Almost all graphic novels I assume that she's getting on Amazon or Barnes & Noble during a sale or something. It's because a lot of people use it as a wish list. So, no judgment. But yeah, that's what we're on right now. Yesterday's event was wonderful. I'm absolutely exhausted beyond belief. I slept terribly last night. slept terribly the night before the event. I don't sleep well. I have a lot of children. I run a small business. I'm a lunatic, is really what it boils down to. I have about 5 or 6 video ideas that I really want to put up here, as well as on Instagram and other places. I have had 0 time to make them, which might make for a fairly busy fall after all the Jewish holidays. Anyway, tomorrow we will look at about 15 or 16 new books coming out. 2 big Marvel releases, the Hickman Avengers run that leads up to Secret Wars, and Secret Wars, both in the compact edition. So $16 for the Esad Ribic Secret Wars. Pretty great deal. Son of Batman in DC Compact, and many other great books. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so that you find out when we are live. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.